Do you ever walk by something in your garden and think, why is that there? That. Why do I have a mound of passiflora incense in a key garden spot? The only butterflies that land on this are golf fritillaries and zebra longwings, and I have plenty they can land on somewhere else. So I'm gonna pluck it out. I just set it over here. I'm just gonna trim off so I can get my trellis out of it. And now I can put some new plants that are butterfly attractors in that spot. The trellis is free. This pile is going to go in my compost, but if you're worrying, thinking, oh, there could be caterpillars on all of that, it's okay because my compost has a wall of passiflora incense around it. It'll be quite easy for caterpillars to climb off and on to all of this passiflora that's growing around that. So no problem. Okay, so back here in my work area, don't ask why, I have a pot of starry rosinweed and some zinnias. So I can plant these in that new spot. Sitting right back here is a Mexican sunflower that can go there. There's already a porterweed coming up here. There's a pentas that was hidden under there, and there's a lot of tropical sage. So between all of these, I can do a little cleanup and get these in the ground and have much more butterfly friendly plants in this section. Even though passiflora incense is a host plant, I have tons of it. I don't need it here. So I've got everything cleared out, and there's another porterweed coming up there. There's another one here. There's that one back there. And there's a little one coming up there that I'm going to move over here. I think that's good for now. And that's going to be such a more butterfly garden friendly planting. Get some of those flowers in here. And now the fun part. I love watering. I've got my little pagoda plant right here. I'm still watering. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the polydamas swallowtails have been loving it. Actually, it's in a pot. I could move it into that area. It'd be pretty in there and fill in a little space while we're waiting for the other things to grow. That might happen. Okay, so while we're at it, why not do more? That pot is my sweet scent that I love, but that pot looks awful because the base of the sweet scent is scrappy. But the top of the sweet scent is pretty, and is really pretty blended in with the clustered bush mint and the Orangium integrifolium, and the pollinators still love it. So this is in a pot on a pot. And it's lightweight. I'm just going to lift up that pot and I'm going to plunk it down right there where there's pretty much nothing. So all the plants in here will kind of disguise the lower ugliness, but that sweet scent's going to be up in the middle of all of this. Look at this clustered bush mint. This is a stem from the plant that's in the corner, but it just wanted to lay here. There, I'll leave it like that so it's more upright. Plants are so funny. All right, I'm gonna go plunk that down. See, now that makes this space look so much more interesting. And I'll clean up the plant a little, but now it's right in here with everything. And you know how I love my flowers, like all in a big messy clustered bunch. So perfect. I'm gonna go grab a garden stake to get this arrangium to stand more upright, and then it'll blend in more with the sweet scent. So I've been digging in, pulling out some weeds that were growing in here, and I'm finding so many things. I have this empty pot here I need to fill, but like there's lizard's tail, there's my frog fruit, there's some little baby arrangiums that I remember planting earlier this year. This with the tiny little purple flowers has a name. Water, oh shoot, it's water something. Maybe I'll think of it. Water willow. And it's all growing all in here. Those tiny, tiny little purple flowers. So the frog fruit, I'm trying to get the frog fruit to go under the lizard's tails so the lizard's tails can come up. See how one thing leads to another in the garden? And then I've got this coming right in front, does not need to be here. This is either a sweet scent. No, I'm sorry. It's not sweet scent. Sleepy hibiscus, that's what I meant to say. It could be a salt marshmallow, but the salt marshmallow leaves are more elongated. I think this is a sleepy hibiscus, which likes wetland. So I'm wondering, like, let me see if I can find a wetland pot I can sit in there. Or maybe I can just plant it there and water it well. And I am loving, now that I pulled a bunch of weeds out, more of the cluster bushmint was laying down. Look at all this. So now it's up, it's all leaning in to the eryngium and the sweet scent. I mean, look how pretty that is now. I didn't buy anything new. I'm just moving things around and freeing things. If y'all watch my channel, maybe not last year, but probably the year before, I was all about the clustered bushmint. It is a pollinator favorite, and I have not talked about it much this year, and shame on me. Shame on me, because this is a fabulous native plant. And there's nobody on it right now because I've been in here digging around, but if you look at the ones in the back, you can see there's some little pollinators on them. So clustered bushmint right up there with everything else. So, I mean, this little garden space is a pollinator powerhouse now with all these together. Well, I mean, they were together before, but you know what I mean. You know, it's even better. It's better. I've also got this coming up here too. And you see it, I've staked it up. I think this is I don't know what it is. It might be some sort of goldenrod because it's got those really long stems, and you can tell I've whacked it off. But there's also something about it that makes me think it might be, I know you're gonna call me crazy, it might be a Georgia aster. So I'm gonna leave it here for now. I don't think this is something I intentionally planted here. It's just something that came up, and we're going to wait and see. But I do want to move this out because this can get big and it doesn't need to be right up against the walkway. And this is spectacular. So I just plucked this out, and I'm just going to move it around the bend right here where it's back a little bit more, and it'll be, well, maybe if I can get the other plants out of the way. This one-handed planting is no joke, you guys. Okay, hang on. All right, it's in. So, I mean, that's perfect. Tucked back there as opposed to right up front here. And this trellis is here, so if it does get big, it'll have this to kind of rein it in. So I like that there. I still have this. I'll figure it out. I like the look. No, hang on. Well, I was going to back up and let you see what it looks like now after that we got the pot out. Do you see how you can see the sweet scent in there, but you don't see the ugly bottom of it? So much better. Oh, I love it. I love it. So I just got to get something in there. It's going to be native. Let me look around and see what I got. I have the perfect thing. Set them right here with weeds growing in it. Spiderwort. Because I don't have this in the, look at the weeds. I'll get the weeds out. I don't have this in the ground because it wants to spread and take over, but it will be totally contained in that pot down there. And I mean, the bottom of it isn't ugly. It does get brown stems. Do I want that one thing down there? I don't know. Let me think a little longer. You know what would look great there? A super shrubbed out starry rosinweed. Couldn't you just picture that right there on the corner? And no, you can't tell me I have too much starry rosinweed in my garden because that's not a thing. Oh my goodness. I have some. Let me go look around. I think I have another one in a pot. I got one. Isn't it cute? Oh my gosh, this is going to be perfect. And if it's not perfect, I'll move it because that's what I do. Look what I just spotted. Across the walkway, coming up on its own right over here is a little Cooley's water willow. It's Cooley's water willow. I got all of the name in my head finally. So just gonna kind of snag that out. I scooted the little starry rosinweed back and I'll plant this in right here in front once I add more soil. I love changing things up in the garden. Sometimes you just get a little tired of seeing the same old things, and especially things that aren't serving a purpose, like that passiflora incense. I mean, it serves a purpose in my garden, but I don't need that much of it. Okay, look at that. So, oh, hello. This is on the corner. We've got the cluster bush mint coming out, making a presence in the garden. Okay, look, there's a queen on the Rearranging integrifolia. I love that moment. I love that moment. We've got the sweet scent backed up back there. See that cute little salt marshmallow? And then when we look over here, gone is that big mound of passiflora incense. And we've got all of these little cuties that I did move over the pagoda plant. I also have a little pot right there of zinnias. I set that in there. And this is a fun gardening day. I need to do some trimming. Now we can see back there, you know, before that mound of passiflora blocked all that. So I'm going to get in there and do a little trimming back and cleaning up. There. Trimmed up, cleaned out a little on the back side. So now the view from here is a little better. Oh, and if you haven't done so already, tap the like button. Now's a good time. Hey everyone, it's the next morning and I am repotting all of my potted pipe vines because I found out that they will be much happier in pots that have perlite in the mix. So that's what I've been working on, but I have something on my desk behind me I want to show you real quick and chat about. These are Monarch chrysalises, and this one on the end just turned clear today, so it might be okay, but the other three have been like this for 3 days now, and that means that they are not viable. And the reason they made it this far but couldn't close all the way is because of OE. It weakened them so much that they can't even break out of their thin chrysalis. And that's very sad. And that's a message to me that it is definitely time to stop raising monarch caterpillars unless I decide to do the whole bleach washing thing, which even then doesn't necessarily work out. So I was thinking about that and my balloon milkweed, how it perfectly died because it only lives like an annual here at this time. Like, it's all gone, and that's why I'm growing a bunch more from seed. But also my swamp milkweed has got seed pods forming. Aren't they adorable? And I want those. So I can't chop this back and let it regrow. But what I can do is I can trim off all the leaves so that they will regrow, and then they will be fresh leaves for caterpillars to munch. Maybe. It's something, right? It's something. So I'm going to go whack off all these little leaves. Yes, if there's, I don't know what I'm going to do. If there's caterpillars on them, odds are they're going to have OE. You know what? I'll just let the leaves fall where they may in the bottom of the pot. And I'll put them in the bottom of the pot. If there's caterpillars on them, they'll be able to climb up, and maybe like right here is some fresh growth. If the leaves are towards the top where they're newer, I'll leave those ones. Okay, that's my plan. Now these plants down here, I had recently chopped back to take in stem cuttings, so this is all new growth. I'll absolutely leave all of that. Those will be fresh, munchy leaves for future caterpillars that will live out here in my garden for now. I was doing a little early editing of this video, and I saw earlier in the video I was rocking the pink eyeshadow. Sometimes I like to play, y'all. Sometimes I just like to play with a little color. But I just thought that was funny. I was like, oh, you filmed with that. Anyway, if you love makeup and you love supporting independent brands, the new Flora and Fauna eyeshadow palettes from Blend Bunny, I am in love. I love them. And of course the names, flora and fauna. It's a collab they did with May Pang, and it's wonderful. Okay, that's my little plug. Not sponsored. Nobody knows who I am. Just sharing, just sharing. So yesterday when I was out here working and filming, working on this garden area, and a lot of times when I'm in the garden working by myself, I'll be humming or singing a song. A lot of times it's a hymn because my mom was our church organist. So I just grew up listening to her playing the music and all of that. But yesterday, when I was out here working, for whatever reason, a song was in my head and I was actually singing it, and it was Dolly Parton, you guys. Dolly Parton, and the song was that one, you come again looking like a body doesn't have a right to, where she says, and here you come again and here I go. And I went in after that, and the whole time I'm singing, I'm thinking, why is the song in my head? I went in after it, and I got a text from my son that Dolly Parton had died, and I was like floored. I was literally floored about what had just happened. That's all I'm gonna say. Let it mean what it means to any of you, but it meant something special to me, and I just wanted to share that. See, now look at that monarch. That monarch is beautiful. And that was raised by my garden. So I think there's something to be said about just letting nature take over. Because that one, a lot of times, like when you look at them, you can tell, oh, that one's got OE just by looking at the coloring of them. But the ones that I see in my garden a lot of the times are looking really good. Like this one. Or that one. There's a lot of Gulf fritillaries out today. I haven't caught them on camera, but they're just like flying high and around and over in the side yard. So right here, I have a few pentas and some privet sennas that I'll be delivering to Plant Local. Woohoo! I'm so glad to have some pentas ready to take to them. She's been asking me every time I go there. First thing she says is, do you have red pentas ready? So these will be showing up sometime this week. Well, towards the end of the week. And also the privet sennas, so that's exciting. And they're gorgeous. Look at those blooms, ready to feed lots of butterflies. Also, my plant order, you know how I told you I found some pipevine? It's supposed to come today, so I'm super excited. I'll let you know in the next video what I thought of like the delivery, the plant quality, that sort of thing, because I got to end this one now so I can get it edited, because I've got other stuff to do tomorrow. So I need to get all that done today, but this will be it for you tomorrow night. Just put a bunch of heart emojis in the comments for Dolly Parton. What? And I mean, just the thing I remember about her, she was just so positive and uplifting and funny. And my favorite movie is Steel Magnolias. My son Jackson is named from Jackson in Steel Magnolias. I mean, I just love that movie, and her character in it was fabulous. Anyway, post a lot of heart emojis. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye, everyone. You guys, of course this video is not over because I was down here at this end of the garden doing some watering, deadheading Mexican sunflowers. I looked over and caught in big old scary spider's web was a monarch butterfly, you guys. A monarch, and it was alive and it was struggling and the spider was heading down to it. And quick as a flash, I yanked this stake that was holding up my chaya here out, and I was like a swordswoman over there. Poop, poop, poop. I got the spider, not the spider, I got the butterfly out. It was the sweetest thing. It was like a slow motion. It literally came flying right toward me like, thank you. I swung my sword around and got the spider's web all out. He is not coming back there. And while I did all that, there was a swallowtail that was partially wrapped in webbing, and there were gulf fritillary wings. That evil, evil, evil spider over there has been eating my butterflies. Not anymore, and not today. This garden is for butterflies, and you mess with my butterflies, you might find yourself at the other end of a garden stake. You won't find yourself on the other end of the garden stake. You might just get swatted with it. That's what I meant. Now I think this video is over. Here's a beautiful giant swallowtail. Happy times. Beautiful butterflies.